Hello, this is Ivana.
This is Yaw.
And you're listening to the podcast Life in Black and White.
And all the shades in between.
We share all things life, relationships, marriage, parenting, race, and much more. If you enjoy listening to us, then please follow or subscribe to this podcast. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook under Life in Black and White. Yaw looks very tired this evening. Not only this evening. I wish you could see us right now. It's 10 o'clock. The boys just fell asleep.
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah.
It's 10:30. Clearly I'm not quite with it either. And we just sat down, ready to chill and talk to you again. So it's just a very nice view I have right now of Yaw. It is. Yeah. I can see what you're thinking right now, to be honest. This is our typical evening, isn't it? It's like, And if in the morning we wake up so full of energy, plans, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, let's do this today, and then in the evening, tomorrow. Now we say tomorrow. This is our life. Anyway, what we'd like to talk to you about, by the way, very rarely our podcast episodes never are scripted. Really, like we have maybe just an idea what we want to share, but these conversations are 100% spontaneous, and we feel like it just better. No, it flows better when it's not really planned. But if you have other opinion, let us know. And before we dive into today's episode, we just want to kindly remind you to leave us a review, because that helps other people to find this podcast. So if you can just spare 5 seconds to do this for us, it will mean really more than you know. So today we wanted to share or talk to you about the differences between men and women. So what do you like off the top of your head, Yaw? What do you find with me, of course, not women, not women in general. What do you find the most, not challenging, but in terms of my way of thinking? Yaw just asked me, can I say this? Oh, Yaw just asked me to pause it because his brain went, brain. We should record this at 10:30 probably. Or maybe yes. Maybe this is the best time actually. He asked me to pause it because his brain went blank. Why did your brain went blank?
Sometimes you do go to the point where you just blank. Sometimes you're in the state where you can talk and you're ready to talk and you're ready to kind of...
Okay, so it has nothing to do with me talking too much? That's what I thought, so I'm glad it's not the case.
No, it's got nothing to do with that at all, because you that never happens.
Aww, especially in the evening. I don't know why I'm so talkative in the evening, especially. I want to get it out. I don't know why.
Because if you spent most of the day with the kids and things, or,
Yeah. And saying just agi, no, with baby. That's true. But no, you know what? I think that with us specifically, is what I noticed is that very often, you think I seek an argument when in fact I don't. Speaking of differences, so I say, I don't know, for instance, let's talk. And I just really want to have chilled conversation about life, sometimes. But then
any guy and every guy, if you ever hear those words being said, you cannot automatically go to a place of, oh, what's this going to be about? If it's, maybe it's the wording, maybe it's the, oh, let's have a chat, rather.
Okay,
Do you fancy,
but maybe that's the.
Do you fancy a quick chat over tea or something? Or it's just different. It's that phrasing that suddenly you're like, oh, what's going on here? And then your brain starts ticking over automatically.
Do you know what? I think because, English is not my first language, obviously. So maybe that's why as well. Because this is how we would say it back home. Let's talk. Let's just talk.
Yeah.
But in English, that sounds like I'm seeking an argument.
Not seeking an argument, just that it could be something that ends up being a deep conversation.
And what's wrong with that?
Depends when you ask that, right?
Right.
Sometimes you can deal with a deep conversation, but if you've had a crazy day and your brain's kind of mush, and then someone says to you, oh, let's talk, you're expecting my reaction to be, oh yeah, of course, let's have a chat, let's have a thingy.
No, you don't have to react like that.
No, but my natural reaction probably will turn out to not be that great. I'll be like, like that. And automatically, from that reaction that you get from me, you're thinking, why can't...
Yeah.
What have I said? What have I done? And, it's already kind of started something. It's twisted something that could have, like you said, in your opinion, in what you were saying, you were just literally just asking to, what's going on? How's life?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But it's already kind of taken a turn.
Yeah.
So.
But I think, even in Slovak, it doesn't maybe sound like in English, let's talk. But I think it's the same meaning anyway.
Okay. That
people expect it to be something deep when it's not. But another example is... But let's say that I do want to discuss something deep.
Okay.
So when is the right time then? During the day, say we don't have the time.
Yeah, we won't have the time.
Is it crazy? And in the evening, we're too done. So what should I do then? When?
I think we can always, if we give each other
enough notice, or
a little bit of because sometimes you just need to have a conversation about something, and then that's fine. We deal with it. But if it's something that you're thinking about and you think we do need to have a bit of a deep one on something, let's do it under circumstances of, we're grabbing some food or something, and, maybe we put the kids down and so it's not so hectic. You're having a wine, I'm having a 0% Peroni or something. It's just chilled. We feel like it's a chilled environment, and the conversation starts, and then even just mentioning what the topic is about allows either myself or you to kind of have a little think on it. So
it's like when I cook something just for us, as in not family dinner, but just for us, the conversation is coming. We can do it that way.
Yeah, but I don't want it to take away from the food. That's even worse. Could you imagine? I've decided I wanted to cook for you tonight. Oh, for Christ's sake, what's coming?
Like Marek.
Well, yeah, what's happened?
Do you remember Marek, my brother-in-law, was saying when his friend or colleague, they were trying for a baby for ages. Yeah. And the woman got a bit, too intense. And then he said that whenever he got back home and he saw a bottle of wine on the table, he was like, no, like he wanted to cry. So, something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping you don't get to the point where that's where it's at. Can you imagine?
Oh, Jesus. So now I know. So, okay, if I wanted to have a deep conversation,
just give me the heads up. Give me the heads up.
Because, we don't have these like meal evenings that often, just us. So I couldn't wait that long. you know. Or I just cook something for you.
Or you might have to, in the nicest possible way, just suck it up. Just give me the heads up. That's basically it. Look, I appreciate you might have a lot on and stuff today, but we need to have a bit of a conversation about such and such later on.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just find that time.
Okay. I don't want me cooking for you become a stressful moment for you. Like, oh no, what's coming?
Christ, that'd be awful, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Just for the reference, I do cook, but not just for, like, the kids are in bed and I cook just for us. Would be nice though. I remember before kids, I was like, why are they so tired? It can't be that hard. This is karma.
Yeah.
This is karma.
Life thought, yeah. That's funny. We'll find out how funny it is.
And another thing I noticed is that keywords, as if there are specific keywords, the trigger words that make you think it's something when it's nothing. Yeah. I say.
Everybody must have this.
Okay.
Everybody.
But say, I don't know. I'm asking you a question, regular question, nothing, I'm not trying to, I don't know, anything, to nag or seek an argument, nothing, just,
Yeah.
What is so funny?
I love how, on occasion, not just you, just people in general.
Or women, you mean?
No, not just women. Women, men. You can have certain situations where there's something that's clearly niggling, like something that's on their brain. No, it's fine. It's okay. It's not a problem. And it, like you said, a trigger word comes up, and you've had experience with that trigger word before in the past.
Okay.
You've probably, like, say from, you got a partner, you've gone through a conversation, a deep conversation, probably, and you've obviously experienced it. You've got those emotions. Certain things and stuff have been said. So in, like, say, my head or in some bloke's head, there's certain things that you would hold on to and you think, can't go through that again. Christ, that was too much. But blah, blah, blah. You deal with it, you move on. You say anything that links you to that emotion, to where you think that conversation can go back to, again, it's a trigger.
Okay,
it's a big thing, because then all these emotions, it's not, I wouldn't say it's so much as a trauma, but it's definitely something there that you think, I can't do that conversation again. I don't really want to go through that conversation. If it's something that you think that you might go back to and have to re-explain something or go over something again, that's a lot. And, from a guy's perspective or whoever, you're probably tapped out. You're like, oh, I'm done with this, even before this has started.
Okay, two things.
and then you probably say, but that's not what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, but you know what? That can be a previous relationship.
Previous relationship. Yeah. It's all your experiences, experiences in your life that give you certain traits and certain biases towards what you say, how you think, and yeah.
But then, okay, say I ask a question and you go, oh, and I'm like, what?
I'll tell you what.
I just need yes and no, yes or no.
Okay.
But you don't believe me then. So this is what you're saying.
Yes.
But you don't believe me in the moment.
In a yes
sometimes,
or no answer.
Yeah. You try and convince me, no, this is no yes or no question, but it is. And it becomes something all of a sudden, and then I don't even know how that happened.
But it's because there's not, and maybe I'm going from personal experience, if the conversations and stuff that you feel are yes or no answers, in most cases, in previous experiences, they've never been yes or no answers. They may be yes or no answers now that will lead to a conversation, whether it's today or the day after or a few days down the line,
Yeah.
that conversation will come back and then you'll say, why? But why is that this?
Do you know what I just realized?
Go on.
I think it's not really yes or no question.
No, it's not.
Do you know what it is?
Go on.
I have a specific answer I want you to say in mind.
Yeah.
And if it's not that answer, then
Yes. Yes.
so if you give me the right answer, quote unquote, then you're good. It's
Yeah.
done conversation within
Okay.
2 seconds. Let's say I need yes from you. And
Yeah.
you say no. Yeah, like an example.
Okay. No,
Then I start. Why no? See what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
So from, like I said, from a male perspective or my personal perspective, it says it's not, maybe I'm thinking it's not a yes or no answer. There's something behind it that needs
and actually,
more.
I'm just realizing it's true.
Wow. Oh, we've got this on record. Thank God.
I can always cut it out.
No, this is staying in the edit, and every guy or partner who's had this experience have this on record. If you don't give great reviews and stuff after that comment, I'm gonna be so upset. Seriously, got this on record and stuff now. Make sure this goes viral. I want everybody in the world and stuff.
You
to
were
know
right,
this.
Angel.
Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying in a minute.
Aww.
No, I'm not.
We don't need therapy ever.
Well, just hearing
It's just
that,
a podcast.
Just hear that you were right.
we just need the podcast,
Yeah.
Angel. No, but really, when I really think about it, I have to admit that it's never. I mean, in that
No, I know.
instance or instances, I have an answer in mind. I want you to. I want you to give me.
And to be honest, I think what I've just turned around and said there about we've got this on record, I think where you're slightly different than maybe some of my past experiences is if you do see that you're wrong, you will turn around and say you're wrong. You'll own up to the fact that you're wrong, and then, even if we're upset or whatever and things, or however that conversation say, you will say, okay, I get it. Okay, I'm wrong and stuff in that. And I think we've mentioned it in the past that, this kind of compromise, and sometimes we find it difficult to turn around and say sorry because you feel like it's coming from a place of weakness. Well, it absolutely isn't. It's just you as a person owning what you've kind of done or said or, said in the wrong way, maybe said something in the wrong fashion and things.
Yeah.
But because that person's stubborn and they don't want to seem weak, they will turn around and say, whatever.
Yeah, I think we're both quite good at this, no? And I think that's why we're so strong together. I think.
Yeah.
Because what is that word? Self-reflective?
Yeah.
Or what is it?
Yeah. It's about self-reflection, isn't it?
Yes, it's self-reflection.
And
Can I have...
don't get us wrong and stuff. We're not saying in any ways or means that we're
Perfect.
no, not by a long shot and things.
No one is.
But I do, even when I'm in that stubborn mode, and I've had stubborn modes in the past where I could just literally just say, I'm done. And walk away from something and say, I'm done. And that's me done. And whereas now, if I was in a stubborn mode, I would never think that. Well, I probably...
What do you think that is?
Because in the pit of my stomach, I know that if I've done something wrong, I can own up to it, and hopefully the conversation doesn't come back too often. But I'm, you can take it at face value that when I'm saying I'm sorry, I'm actually sorry.
Yeah.
Not saying sorry just to kind of get that conversation over and done with.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's times when people
Yeah.
must do to just kind of give yourself like a bit of a pause and things. But
Yeah, but back to our subject, so we don't
Yeah.
divert too much. Thank you for saying that, my love. It's nice.
yeah, I want that money later on.
Ah! I think in general, what women in general struggle with is to communicate properly what they need to communicate. Does that make sense? We like to nag sometimes, and it's good. Sometimes it's good relief. Or criticize, but very often we don't deliver the information in a like we don't give like constructive feedback. Like this is what it does to me when this happens, or this is how it makes me feel. But we assume that the person gets it through nagging, through hinting, through criticizing, and we expect the partner or husband to change or to improve based on our hints, yeah? But it just doesn't work that way. Never does, yeah? Then it's just getting worse and worse, and we talked about it before that praising is the way forward rather than, or seeing what the good thing, the positives, and then nourish that rather than try and go against the wall. And
everybody gets upset, and everybody finds it difficult in that moment to truly communicate how they feel about a situation.
Oh, absolutely. It's not the bad thing, but I've noticed this is like most women have this.
I don't think it's just a woman thing. I know what you mean and stuff like that, and maybe quite a few men would turn around and say, "I don't get it. I don't get how you got from there to being here, and you're kind of going mental and going da da da." And I'm like, where was the in between? Where was the actual saying of that? Just expecting, like you just said there, expecting someone to just understand how you truly feel without literally voicing that.
It's not always easy though, because you men drive us nuts. It's very often that's just a fact, and I'm sure we drive you crazy.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely but mostly with this communication and like nagging, sometimes maybe being too intense. But all this nagging, criticizing and hinting, it comes from you driving us crazy. So it's like a vicious circle. And what men, or what I see from my own experience and around myself, is that the men don't, sometimes it's like they don't get things like what it's like you. We going on a trip, like we went to London now we have like 11 hour trip ahead of us. Everyone's in the car, and that's when you decide to make breakfast, and not just any breakfast, but a fried egg. It's like, why would you do that now?
And in that, no, because this is brilliant, because I thought to myself the other day about how we get ready and how we do things, and I realised that in most cases I won't get done until the very end.
Yeah, but that's easily changed, isn't it?
Now, depending on how you turn around and you you do things, how you organise things. Yes, I'm sure there's probably better ways to organise things and stuff. But when you've been running around, running after the kids to make sure that they've done this, everybody's kind of done this, but actually the kids haven't put their shoes and socks on or whatever and things, and actually while you're doing your makeup and things, they haven't actually combed their hair and they haven't done a couple of little bits. So while you're finishing off and I'm running down and I'm going, look, can you do this? Can you put your socks on? Can you comb your hair? And then you'll come down and then you're thinking, oh, everything's virtually done. But actually, I haven't had the time to turn around and really kind of, I could get up in the morning and just do me.
Yeah.
And get myself done, and then I'm ready to kind of, but then that means that you would have to get up and you've got a hectic time until I'm.
No, I usually eat on the go with the kids, in the morning. So it's not like I have 15 minutes.
But you're just having like cereal and stuff, and cereal would do nothing for me. I'd eat it, and then within like half an hour, I'd be.
But it's not just that. It's like just one example. But say you do things the least appropriate time or convenient time for anyone, or you take ages to do something, get out of the house, you do this, you do that, we're all waiting, and then you on this and that.
But then what you will see is a day or so down the line when you're saying, oh, I forgot my, I don't know, my tweezers, or I needed my this or that. It's those things that I was thinking about in those moments and I put together at those times.
My love, I'm not criticizing you right now.
No, but I'm trying to explain that sometimes it doesn't go. If we organised it to the point where we turned around and we said, you got this slot, you've got this slot, you deal with this, you do. I think from both our perspectives, it might be easier.
Yeah, it's just, my point is, I'm not criticizing you now.
Yeah.
It's just explaining how you can drive me mad.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And why I can get, even I'm trying to understand and see the good things you do. Like say, we wait for you while you make your fried egg when we are in the car and kids are nervous. And even though a part of me wants to like, what the fuck, But I always try and like, okay, he did this morning, he helped with that, he did, so this is just him, I have to accept him for what he, what. So basically to try understand and see the other side of it is the way forward, yeah, in these differences for both sides. No?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Or you don't agree? Understanding basically is the way forward, like trying to understand the other perspective. Doesn't mean that the person stops driving you crazy or annoy you. Of course they will. But then it can't stay there, I'd say, no?
No, I think, yeah, it's just understanding and more organising or better.
Yeah, but that's us specifically, but...
Yeah, but we are talking from our perspective to a certain extent.
Or should we talk about tidying?
Oh, don't.
But this is an issue for many couples, actually.
What, tidying?
Yeah. Tidying, yeah. For instance, kitchen, you don't clean the way I would, yeah? And that can really make me. But then again, I have to be like, okay, how many other things you do, yeah, that are amazing? Is this really worth getting, pissed off or nervous? No.
No.
Oh, Christ.
Love you.
Oh, you know what the big one is for many, many couples? That women struggle with men not communicating their feelings, their needs. And
Just touch
I,
on that.
yeah, but I just wondered that men in general are not very good talkers. You can talk, like compared to other men, you talk more. Yeah, you like to talk, you like to discuss things with me, but then often you can't express like what's going on in your head, and that is a bloke thing. I think that's the man thing.
But you know what? I honestly feel that if you're a couple, if your partner is a certain way, you get to understand how your partner ticks. That to me is it. If I know that I turn around and I say to you XXX, that puts the walls up, then saying XXX and you're asking me to communicate and stuff it's not going to do you any good. It doesn't help. You're not going to get the communication and things that you want to kind of get.
Yeah.
So in that instance, if you know that, and okay, you might say that person's an adult just as much as you are. So why do you have to put in the extra effort to get the communication and stuff that you need? But even being selfish in that instance, what you need is the communication. So get it the way that, if you need to manipulate the situation to make that communication happen, do that.
But how do you mean?
Like I was saying before, you want to have a chat, you want to have a conversation, saying, oh, I want to have a...
I know.
It's just kind of moving things about and stuff slightly. As much as you want him to understand you need to understand them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what works and stuff in some way. So say, for example, there was something big or something that was... And we decided to go for a walk or something to kind of... That's less, it's less hectic, it's less this, and you might prefer a walk because it's open, you've got fresh air, and you feel more at ease and things in having that conversation. Whereas for me, if we're eating and we're kind of chilling out and things, and, we've had a little bit of time to kind of, we've put the boys down and we've had a little moment to kind of just go, okay, we're still alive, we're still survived and stuff this day. And then we start having a conversation, then it's just different. If you just literally put that person,
On the
kids,
spot.
after literally just finishing work, finishing the kids, and then that moment there where you've got a respite for 2 seconds and you haven't even had that, and then you put that conversation, like you said, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's just too much. Find the ways that work best. And like I said, I'm not saying it just from a bloke perspective. Blokes need to kind of find ways to kind of communicate with their partners. Partners just need to learn to communicate with each other and find the ways of easing that conversation. It's, again, not perfect. Sometimes I say things in the wrong way at the wrong time, and I do have to backtrack a bit and think, oh, that was a bit stupid. Okay, after I've had a few minutes to kind of think about it, I'm like, oh, okay, I could have done that better. But you've got to be as honest with yourself as much as you're honest with your partner, no? So if you mess up and you fucked up a little bit, then you just need to own that and just say, okay, I did fuck up, sorry. And then you kind of move on and say, look, do you fancy a glass of wine? And do you fancy, I don't know, do you fancy a cup of tea, or do you fancy a takeaway? And, we have a chat about nothing and then we go into something.
Yeah.
And it's just nicer.
Nicer, yeah. It's not so...
Yeah.
forced, and you don't feel like you're on the spot.
What would be say, and I'm not saying that you have to do this to get the answers that you need, but when you're talking about, you're praising your partner, if you've turned around and like your partner's turned around and said something to you about something, and you've actually listened to what they've said, and you've had a conversation, and you're actually interested in what you're saying, they may be more inclined to turn around and, say nicer things and stuff to you, and be more open to the fact that, okay, you've probably had a hard day.
Yeah.
Let me leave you and stuff for a bit. We can't really... I wanted to talk about this, but you look like you're knackered. If we can't talk about it today, it's not a problem, but we need to talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
That automatically thinks, are you actually thought about how I'm probably feeling and stuff? Because then you've given that person the power to turn around and say, you know what, I'm actually okay. I'm a bit knackered, but we can have like the first part of this conversation and stuff now and see. Because automatically that back and forth means that you're caring about that other person that you want this communication with. And, that's fed back into that. You get what you want. You both get what you want.
Yeah.
In the long run.
I realized that the other day that we all want others to understand us, but how often we're willing to understand others.
Yeah.
We can make it a quote, actually. But it's true.
Mm.
And about, it's like they say women expect men to read their minds. I don't think that's the case. I think it refers to, it's like, typical, example. Many jokes are around that. Like, when, don't worry, I'm not going into jokes. Oh, Christ, your look. When I say joke, you're triggered. Like, oh my God, what is she going to say?
I think we've already talked about...
yes, we don't have to go there.
Okay, thank you.
But many jokes about, that when a woman says yes, it's not, it's not a yes. But it's often it's meant sarcastically, I think. I'm just thinking out loud when, obviously you do something wrong, say, and I'm angry, and you ask, you're right. Of course I'm not all right, yeah. But sometimes when the hurt is too deep, you don't feel like talking about it. And you really need the other person to pick up on how you feel, to feel understood and care. Because then when you say, oh, actually, you did this, and I need you to say sorry now, then the other person, when they do it, you don't feel like it's genuine, yeah? So this is what we need from our men, these genuine, being genuine about things, yeah? Not us having to tell you, do this, do that, or this is what you did wrong. We want you to work it out yourself sometimes, yeah? And I don't really have this issue with you, to be honest, but I know this is the case for many, many couples, and including me before. Sometimes I think we can get into that mode, but not. I don't think so. But just wanted to clarify all these, that we can't, say, we don't know what we want, yeah? They say, maybe we don't know what they want, but we do know exactly what we want. It's just not so straightforward. I mean, we don't show it so directly sometimes. And we like men to work things out themselves sometimes without us having to tell them.
And in that case, how much pain are you willing to have in order for that person to work out what you're trying for them to say or do? I'm not saying...
Let me give you an example, yeah? Say you forget, it's very important for me to remember the anniversary, say wedding anniversary, although you're the one who remembers more than me. But say it's very important to me and you forget, yeah?
Okay.
And I'm upset because you forgot.
Okay.
And you don't know why I'm upset. And when I know in my mind, okay, when I tell him I'm upset that he forgot, of course he'll be sorry, but I don't want him to be saying all these right things, quote unquote. I want him to have remembered. I want the anniversary to be as important for him as it is for me. Yeah.
Right, okay.
That's why you don't say it, because you don't want to hear all that crap. Yeah.
Okay.
You want really for it to be as important. Yeah. So that's why you're upset. No words can save that.
There are words that could say that.
I take that back. There is, but you don't expect him to say them right there and then, yeah, because maybe when you give him a bit of time to think about it, make it up to, then maybe, but right on the spot, he wouldn't say anything that will make you feel better.
But then that's self-reflection. In my view, that's self-reflection on whether you feel that your partner's being honest and genuine in what they're responding.
I'm just explaining, don't get me wrong, I'm explaining what's going on in your head in that moment. Like, I'm not saying he can't say nothing right, but in your mind, you're like, oh, I just can't. Like, it's not important. It's not important for him. I'm upset. End of story. Yeah? That's what's going on in your mind. Yeah. But what can really help in that moment, like you said exactly, seeing the emotion behind it, rather than just words, or doing something out of your comfort zone, going an extra mile. That's what we like. Yeah. We need attention. It is what it is.
But you don't. It's not just always about the attention and stuff that.
No, we need to feel loved and cared for,
And vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What you were saying before, earlier on, about praising your partner, that's a two-way street. And it's absolutely a two-way street. And if both you and your partner don't see that, you're going to have a rocky road, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's one-sided, one person's definitely, absolutely going to feel, why do I do this if nobody kind of recognises? And you can always turn around and be holier than thou and turn around and say, well, you shouldn't feel that you need to be recognised. And that's bollocks. That's absolute rubbish.
Yeah.
Because both of you should feel recognised for the things that you do in your relationship. At the end of the day, if you praise enough, you get the best from both of you.
Yeah.
And you should want to. Yeah. You should, oh Christ, I'm going to say, Martin Luther King. You both have dreams. No,
really?
but you both have dreams, and you both have things that you want to achieve and stuff in life.
Yeah.
And you should want to kind of support each other. You'd want, so if she's having like that moment, that bad time, and she needs to offload and stuff onto you, feel free. It might not be the best time because I've just done but I'll find time to kind of turn around and say, look, what was it? And again, that shows that you're interested in what is going on in their lives, and you appreciate so when you have that conversation because they've forgotten the day, it's not so much of a hit because generally they wouldn't forget, or they are interested in what you're doing. It's actually a build-up of a lot of things where it's maybe lacking that they don't feel. So when you turn around and miss an anniversary or a birthday, then all of a sudden it's like, you know what, you don't listen to me, you don't do this, and then on top of that, something that's major within our lives that connected us, you forget that on top of that. Then you turn around and say sorry, then it's just like too little too late, because it sounds fake. Absolutely, right? But if you're spending your time and you're going, oh, what's going on? And I'm not saying it's perfect that every day we're going to have a what's going on and blah, 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 and go deep into things and stuff. But you might have quite a few of those on occasion because you're just interested.
Yeah.
You want to know how they're feeling, what's going on? You know, they've had a shit day. Okay. Do you fancy a cuppa? Yeah. Do you fancy you? Okay, you might not but do you fancy a cup of tea or
Yes,
cup of
thank
coffee, or you know, do you fancy a glass of wine? Look, just kick back and stuff for a little bit. I'll take on the 20%. You've got 20%. I'll take on the 80%, and that in itself shows in actions as well as the speaking part, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just thought of another example, sorry, just before I forget. I wasn't listening really to the last bit, sorry.
That's okay.
Didn't want to lose the thought.
It's all about actions.
Yeah, it's about listening and understanding.
Yeah.
And caring and sharing and receiving. Another example. You want them to do something and they don't do it. Yeah? Say, but that's more of our romantic, ideas. But we have also, some of it, it's like maybe a bit out of, too much. But some of it is just basic things that make you happy. Say, I don't know, I'm going away for a week and I come back on my birthday, say, yeah? And it would be nice if you waited for me at the station. Say we don't have kids here, so you have the time. At the station with the flowers, yeah? But you don't. And I am upset, yeah? It's like, oh, would have been a nice gesture. But then you ask, what's wrong? What have I done, yeah? And you don't want to tell, you didn't wait for me with the flowers, or you don't want to tell them in advance, actually, would be nice if you got some flowers and waited for me at the station, yeah? So it just takes all the magic away from it. But then when they ask in that moment, like, what's wrong? You say nothing. That's why you say nothing, because there is no point saying anything, or you just don't feel like saying anything because in that moment, because you're too upset. But some men just take it as really it's nothing.
Okay. For what you want and stuff there, and I appreciate that sometimes it's nice to kind of do those things. On occasions when they've been away and they've got back, do you think in those instances, let's put it this way. Okay, so you...
Say they is men or who?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Your partner's gone away.
Yeah.
And they've come back.
On their birthday.
Are you automatically thinking to have balloons and stuff? Or a big sign saying, happy birthday, I've missed you? Or would you do that? Is that in your mind to think to do that?
If I was a bloke.
Not if you're a bloke.
I would have done.
If you're you. If you're you.
But it's more expected for men to do it, for women, no?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying to you. There's this idea that, you're expecting a guy to turn around and have flowers and stuff. To me personally, I don't have a problem and stuff with having
but you are very romantic.
No, I know that. But what I'm saying to you is you're happy to kind of have this notion of let's make sure that, the guy will have flowers and chocolates or whatever and stuff to say, oh, I've missed you so much. But then at the same time, when you left a list for them to kind of go through and try and complete and things. So by the time that they saw you come back, they've just about taken that day to kind of complete the whole list and stuff that you're talking about. And they're thinking, you know what? I'm happy to see you. I love you.
And you're thinking, what have I forgot? I hope I didn't forget anything.
No, but I think sometimes if you reciprocate that and you do something similar, I'm not saying meet at the airport.
That's true.
But if
to
you're
make it a normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that,
See, when I come from back home, I would have loved for you to be at the airport waiting for me at the gate. But I know it's not so easy. Okay. But it would have been nice. I'm saying it now.
Oh, would it? Oh. Life's hard sometimes though, isn't it?
I just don't. I'm not willing to pay 80 quid for parking. Just because of romantic gesture. Especially, imagine our flight is delayed or something. I'll be more stressed.
All we do is just go straight to the parking. Get in, get in, get in. I love you. Okay, I love you too. Get in. We've only got 15 minutes to put the stuff in the car and go.
Oh, I wouldn't even. I would cry in those flowers then if I saw the bill.
A fine comes through. Oh, what? Why did we? Oh.
See, and then I would have a go at you. Why did you? Why did you come and wait for me? What the fuck? What were you thinking? So you can't win, right? Oh, brilliant! Oh, this is brilliant. At least we have a good laugh.
Yes,
No.
absolutely.
Right. So, to sum it up, understanding is the key. We are different, and that's great. But understanding is the key to understanding. I know it's like...
Communication is the key to understanding.
Yeah.
Talk how you need to talk. Say the things that you really need to say. Don't always expect your partner to kind of just pick up on the things. They may be going through things that you may not get and stuff because the lines of communication just aren't there and things.
Yeah.
You know, be as interested in what they're doing and what...
I think, sorry, it's only because I had a good idea. Say, whenever you feel like, oh, they could be doing this, they could be doing that, ask yourself, am I doing that for them? Okay, so that's all for today from us. Have a good day or evening and see you in 2 weeks. Bye.